Did you know that as humans, we mimic each other's body language subconsciously? This is known as the chameleon effect. People tend to mirror each other's body postures and movements when they feel a sense of connection with one another. This is subtle mimicry, but it also helps to strengthen social bonds. This is On the Couch, Dr. Ty. Welcome to another episode of On the Couch with Dr. Ty. I'm Dr. Ty. Is psychopathy or sociopathy born or bred? The debate over whether psychopathy or sociopathy are conditions of birth or products of environment continues to captivate researchers, psychologists, as well as criminologists alike. These constructs, both related to antisocial personality disorder and the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, share features such as disregard for social norms and empathy deficits, yet differ in origins and expression. Psychopathy is often considered biologically driven, while sociopathy is viewed as environmentally shaped. Current research suggests that both nature and nurture play a critical role in their development. Psychopathy, a biological basis, evidence increasingly supports a genetic and neurological basis for psychopathy. Twin as well as adoption studies have shown that psychopathic traits are moderately to highly heritable. Research by Viting found that callous, unemotional traits in children, which is a precursor to adult psychopathy, are significantly influenced by genes or our genetics. Neuroimaging studies also reveal that individuals with psychopathic, significantly influenced traits often have reduced activity in their amygdala and their ventromedial prefrontal cortex. These are the regions that are responsible for emotion regulation, empathy, as well as moral judgment. These neurological differences may explain the emotional detachment and the manipulative behaviors common in psychopaths. Adrian Rain's work in 2013 further supported the biological perspective. Adrian found that deficits in brain structures linked to fear and impulse control can predispose individuals to violent as well as antisocial behavior. Psychopaths also exhibit lower physiological responses to fear as well as stress. This suggests a congenital insensitivity to punishment or social consequences. Collectively, these findings imply that certain individuals may be biologically hardwired for traits that are associated with psychopathy. Sociopathy, on the other hand, or the role of the environment, in contrast, appears more strongly influenced by environmental and social factors. Sociopaths often exhibit erratic behavior, emotional volatility, and the ability to form selective attachments, traits that may stem from trauma and or neglect, or sometimes even unstable upbringing. Studies have linked early childhood abuse and inconsistent parenting to higher risk of developing antisocial traits. According to social learning theory, antisocial behaviors can also be learned through modeling and reinforcements with dysfunctional family systems. That work was coined by Bandura in 1977. Attachment theory provides additional insight into the environmental roots of sociopathy, and Bowlby in 1988 emphasized that the early attachment disruptions sometimes impair emotional regulation and empathy development, which is usually laying a foundation for later antisocial conduct. Sociopaths are therefore often viewed as made, shaped by social conditions that normalize aggression and or emotional detachment. The biosocial perspective, most contemporary scholars recognize that psychopathy and sociopathy cannot be reduced to a single cause. Instead, they result from complex gene environmental interactions. Sometimes genetic predispositions may increase vulnerability, but environmental experiences determine expression and severity. Case in point, a child with biological risk factors for psychopathy may not develop full blown antisocial behaviors if raised in a nurturing and structured environment. So, in wrapping this up, psychopathy and sociopathy represent two sides of the same antisocial coin. One side of the coin predominantly biological, and the other environmental. Psychopathy may be born, but sociopathy is often bred through adverse experiences, of course. Understanding the interplay of nature and nurture not only depends on our comprehension of the human behavior, but also informs prevention and intervention strategies. The evidence ultimately supports that a biosocial model acknowledges both genetic and environmental shaping of the spectrum of antisocial personality development. This was another episode of On the Couch with Dr. Ty. As always, stay safe and stay smart.